welcome to Law Minstrel. I am Mwese Modupe Mnyim. Today we'll be looking at nursing ethics and jurisprudence. We'll just simply look particularly at an introduction to nursing ethics and jurisprudence. And for us to go through this topic, we'll begin by looking at an introduction. After that, we'll focus on ethics, what ethics are, the types thereof, as well as the implication of ethics on nursing as a profession. Then we'll take a look at what jurisprudence is as a concept. We'll look at the types thereof, and we'll also examine the implication of jurisprudence on nursing as a profession. And finally, we'll be examining nursing, and particularly we'll be looking at education and training of nurses, as well as the responsibilities of nurses. Then we'll now have a conclusion and wrap the entire episode up. Before we begin, I will just enjoin you to click on our like button, subscribe to our channel to become a part of this community. Give us a like if you like this video, and kindly feel free to share with anyone that you think that this could be of help to, and you want to talk to us, give us a feedback on this particular episode or any other thing you would like to see in the future. Please meet me in the comment section. It's all right. Thank you. So we'll begin with an introduction to the class today. Nursing jurisprudence is actually an integral facet of nursing education. It delves into the legal aspects that govern the profession of nursing or nursing practice. Now, as healthcare professionals entrusted with the well-being of individuals, of families, of communities, of nations, nurses operate within a complex web of legal and ethical considerations. Now, this course, Nursing Ethics and Jurisprudence, is designed to provide a comprehensive understanding of the legal framework surrounding nursing practice, equipping students and professionals with the knowledge and skills needed to navigate the intricate intersection of healthcare and the law. At its very core, nursing jurisprudence encompasses the laws, the regulations, and the ethical principles that define and regulate nursing as a profession. Students will explore the laws that govern the ethics of nursing profession, particularly in Nigeria. And if you are watching this and you are not in Nigeria, we will also be looking at some international legal framework that relate to nursing as a profession. These laws establish the boundaries within which a nurse should rightly operate. Understanding the legal framework that relates to nursing not only ensures that as a nurse you comply with them, but also empowers a nurse to advocate for their patients effectively. This course aims to empower students to recognize nursing ethics as an integral aspect of medical ethics within their role as members of the healthcare team. It introduces students to both statutory regulations and common law pertinent to nursing practice, thus fostering the development of a personal nursing philosophy for a professional. Topics that will be covered include the foundations of nursing ethics at the international and national levels, an exploration of nursing ethics in national context, with a focus on challenges and potential opportunities. An examination of laws and regulations governing nursing practice in the country would also be examined. Now, the course delves into ethical consideration and dilemmas including the relationship between nursing ethics and the broader healthcare, moral principles, professional ethics, and institutional constraints. It further addresses ethical issues within the healthcare system, encompassing individual rights, informed consent, abortion, dying, death, and organized control. Discussions on ethical dilemmas emphasize the nurse's role as an advocate, covering aspects such as professional negligence, misconduct, malpractices, legal duties, liabilities of the nurse, and consideration of battery as well as assault. Licensure and certification are foundational elements of nursing practice, and this course will delve into the requirements for obtaining, maintaining a nurse license. Through an exploration of professional nursing organizations and standards, students will grasp the importance of adhering to ethical norms and best practices. As we explore nursing ethics and decision making, the course will provide tools for students to navigate ethical dilemmas while adhering to legal standards and emerging issues in nursing practice. So we'll begin with looking at what ethics really is. So, what do we mean by ethics? Now, ethics refers to the principles, the values, and moral guidelines that guide human behavior as well as decision making. The word ethics has its roots in ancient Greek philosophy. It is said to have been derived from the Greek word ethos, which means custom, habit, or character. The term ethica is also related, which refers to moral philosophy or the study of morality. The development of ethical ideas can be traced back to ancient Greek philosophers, which include such persons as Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and so on. These people explored questions related to morality, virtue, and the nature of a good life. The term ethics came to be associated with the systematic study of morality and the principles that govern human behavior. Over time, the concepts of ethics expanded beyond Greek philosophy and became a central topic in various philosophical traditions and religious teachings. And that's why today you will find the ethics of virtually every profession that people indulge in on earth today. Today, ethics encompasses the study of moral values, principles, and rules that guide human behavior and interactions in different cultures, different social and professional contexts. The Black's Law Dictionary defines ethics, and I'm using the 7th edition, defines ethics as the foremost concepts and principles of proper human conduct. It is concerned with distinguishing right from wrong, good from bad, and acceptable from unacceptable conduct. In the context of nursing, therefore, ethics plays a crucial role in shaping the professional conduct of nurses and ensuring the well-being and rights of patients. So ethics have come to be defined by the Nigerian Law Dictionary as moral principles and values that govern or influence a person's behavior or the carrying out of an activity. What are the forms of ethics or the types of ethics we will be examining today? We will essentially be examining individual ethics and professional ethics, and we will begin with individual ethics. This pertains to an individual's moral beliefs and individual's values that evolve and strengthen that person's character throughout their life. Now, one's code of conduct usually encompasses positive actions. These positive actions include things like honesty, engaging in meaningful pursuits, extending a hand of help and kindness to other persons. Conversely, it involves refraining from negative actions. So these negative actions are, of course, the direct opposite of positive action. So they include such things as dishonesty, theft, cheating, intentionally causing harm, and so on. Personal ethical standards are usually shaped by family, religion, education, peer influences, leading to variation among individuals, because all of these things are varied. Our families are varied, our religions are varied, the type of education we obtained and the institutions in which we obtained this education in issue are also varied, and our peer influences are varied. Our personal biological makeups are also varied, and that's why we may be exposed to the same family, exposed to the same religious teachings, and we may still end up different persons and personalities. And actually, we usually end up different persons and personalities. So personal ethics may undergo modifications due to factors such as age, environment, or specific situations. We'll now look at professional ethics. This form of ethics denotes the distinct moral obligation inherent in a particular profession, and the profession in issue now is nursing. This is distinct from the general societal norms that may be out there. This form of ethics relates to what is obtainable, what is deemed as right, morally right, and to be upheld within a certain practice of a given profession. Now, why informal professional ethics are implicit and not explicitly documented, the former ones are usually explicitly and clearly documented in written ethical codes for every profession to which they relate. Members of a profession not only commit to adhering to those ethical codes that relate to them so that they will regulate their behavior, but they also assume the responsibility of monitoring their peers to ensure that their colleagues equally conform to the ethical standards set within their profession. Non-compliance may usually result in severe consequences, including dismissal or suspension from the given profession. What then is the implication of ethics on the nursing profession? The first implication is in relation to patient-centered care. Ethical nursing practice emphasizes the importance of prioritizing the well-being and rights of patients. Nurses must provide care that is respectful, compassionate, and responsive to individual patient needs. The second area is in the area of confidentiality. Nurses are entrusted with sensitive patient information. Upholding ethical principles therefore includes that they maintain patient confidentiality, ensuring privacy and safeguarding medical information. The third one is informed consent. Ethics require that a patient's autonomy and right to make decisions about their healthcare is always protected. So nurses play a crucial role in obtaining informed consent, not merely consent, but consent that it comes from an informed position, meaning that a patient who has not been informed cannot take a consent or make a consent that is informed. Providing adequate information and ensuring patients understand the implication of their choices usually falls to the lot of a nurse. In the case of Medical and Dental Practitioner Disciplinary Tribunal versus Okonkwo, the court supported this ethical duty when it held that the patient consent is paramount. The patient's relationship with a doctor is based on consensus. The choice of an adult patient with a sound mind to refuse informed consent to medical treatment, barring state intervention through judicial process, leaves the practitioner helpless to impose treatment on the patient. Now you will see that the court was saying that the patient's relationship with a doctor is based on consensus. It's simply because in that particular case, the doctor was an issue. But it goes without saying that every member of the medical team, when a patient is relating with you, the relationship with that patient, whether it's a nurse, whether it's a pharmacist, whether it's the lab attendant, or whether it's the nurse for which this course is designed, that relationship is consensus. We'll now look at 4, which is truthfulness and honesty. Ethical nursing practice requires honesty and truthfulness or transparency in communication between nurses and other members of the healthcare team, as well as the patients who receive their nursing services. So a nurse is mandated to provide accurate information to patients, to colleagues, and other members of the health team. 5. Advocacy. Nurses serve as advocates for their patients in a way, ensuring that their rights and preferences are respected. Ethical nursing practice involves speaking up on behalf of a patient and promoting the patient's best interest. We go to 6, which is professional boundaries. Maintaining appropriate professional boundaries is crucial in nursing ethics. Nurses must therefore avoid conflicts of interest and ensure that their relationships do not compromise the quality of care that they are giving to their patients. 7 is end-of-life care. Ethical considerations are particularly significant in preparing nurses for end-of-life care to their patients. Nurses may encounter dilemmas that are related to life-sustaining treatments, advance directives, and the quality of life for terminally ill patients. 8 is cultural competence. Now, recognizing and respecting the cultural diversity of patients is crucial. It is an ethical imperative for a nurse to recognize all of these things, because they will help you in not offending the cultural sensibilities of the patients who you must care for. So cultural competence involves providing care that is sensitive to the values, to the beliefs, and the practices of diverse patients that may come under your care. Concluding on ethics. Ethics in nursing serves as a guiding framework that upholds the values and principles that are central to compassionate and effective patient care of the nurse. It requires a commitment to integrity and the ongoing pursuit of excellence in the nursing profession. With this, we'll now move to what jurisprudence is. Jurisprudence as a concept refers to the philosophy or the science of law. It involves the systematic study and theoretical analysis of principles, concepts, and foundations that underlie the legal profession. The term jurisprudence has its origins in Latin. It is said to have been derived from 2 Latin words, the first of which is juris, which pertains to law or is related to law, and the second is prudentia, which means knowledge or skill. So when you add these 2 together, jurisprudence can be translated to mean the knowledge of law or the science of law. The concept of jurisprudence involves the theoretical and systematic interpretation of principles, concepts, and philosophy that underlies legal practice or the legal system. It encompasses the understanding of legal reasoning, the nature of law, and the principles that guide legal decision making. Jurisprudence has a long history and its development can be traced through various legal traditions and philosophical schools of thought. It has been a subject of study and inquiry in both Western and non-Western legal systems, contributing to the understanding and evolution of the legal systems and practice and legal theory all over the world. Jurisprudence explores unique questions about the nature of law, its origin, its role in the society, and the principles that guide legal decision making. So it is in the purview or balance of jurisprudence that you hear such questions as, what is the law? What is the law supposed to be doing? Is the law doing what it's supposed to be doing? If it is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, what makes the law unable to do what it's supposed to do? All of such interrogations are the purview or the balance of jurisprudence. In the context of nursing, jurisprudence is concerned with understanding the legal principles and frameworks that govern nursing as a profession. We'll now take a look at types of jurisprudence, and the first we'll be looking at is analytical jurisprudence. Then we'll look at normative jurisprudence, we'll look at sociological jurisprudence, we'll look at historical jurisprudence, and we'll look at philosophical jurisprudence. The first that we'll be looking at is analytical jurisprudence. Analytical jurisprudence seeks to analyze. You can see that the word is taken from analytical, is taken actually from analyze. So analytical jurisprudence seeks to analyze and understand the fundamental nature of the law, focusing on the logic and the structure of legal system. It often involves the examination of legal concepts and terms to derive their meanings as well as their implications. So we'll go to normative jurisprudence. What is normative jurisprudence? The word normative is actually taken from norms, isn't it? So normative jurisprudence is concerned with the formulation of legal norms and principles. It explores such questions as what the law ought to be doing, aiming to establish ethical guidelines for legal systems and practitioners. We will now look at the third, which is sociological jurisprudence. Sociological jurisprudence examines the social functions and effects of the law. It therefore explores how legal rules and institutions impact on society and how social factors influence the development as well as the application of the law. Now, historical jurisprudence. Historical jurisprudence focuses on the evolution and development of legal systems over time. So it explores the historical context of legal principles, doctrines, and institutions to understand their origins as well as their transformations. And finally is philosophical jurisprudence. Philosophical jurisprudence delves into the philosophical foundations of the law. It addresses questions related to morality, to justice, and the underlying principles that justify the existence of any legal system. What then is the implication of jurisprudence on nursing? First is in relation to the legal framework of nursing or nursing practice. So jurisprudence provides nurses with an understanding of the legal frameworks that govern their practice. How can you operate in ignorance of the legal framework, which is made up of all the laws that govern the profession within which you operate? Jurisprudence therefore provides a nurse, a nursing student or a nursing practitioner with the knowledge of the laws to which nursing profession operates, so that a professional can navigate through their practice without offending the laws or the rules that guide the operation of their practice. So this includes the study of nursing practice legal framework, healthcare regulations, and other legal provisions that define the scope of nursing responsibilities. 2 is the area of licensure as well as certification. Nurses must be aware of the legal requirements for obtaining and maintaining a nursing license. Jurisprudence helps nurses navigate the regulatory processes and understand the legal obligations associated with nursing certification. 3 is patient rights as well as patient advocacy. Understanding jurisprudence is crucial for nurses to be effective advocates for their patients. It involves respecting and upholding the legal and ethical principles that safeguard a patient's autonomy, confidentiality, as well as informed consent. In the case of Murray versus Muddy, this case highlights the fact that patients are entitled to some rights which must be protected. In that case, the action of battery succeeded where the surgeon sterilized a female patient by removing her uterus without her consent during a cesarean section operation. The court held that the procedure of sterilization is not detrimental to the life of the patient and could be decided later, that is later after the operation, the cesarean section operation was made. Therefore, a physician and nurse in the course of duty must obtain valid consent before invasive procedures or treatments are carried out on a patient to avert criminal liability. You further see another similar case in Marshall versus Corey. All of these citations are provided on your screen. Ethical and legal dilemmas. Nurses often encounter situations where ethical and legal considerations intersect. The knowledge of jurisprudence provides a framework that the nurse may employ to analyze and navigate these dilemmas without being in conflict with the law that oversees nursing as a profession. And this will ensure that the nurse practices or the nurse's practice aligns with both ethical and legal standards in the profession. Some instances of ethical dilemmas include withholding information in order to save a patient from distress, helping a patient whose beliefs clash with medical advice, and having to choose between patients. We'll now look at documentation and record keeping. Legal implications of documentation and record keeping are central in nursing practice. Jurisprudence guides nurses in maintaining accurate and legally sound records, which is essential for patient care, accountability, and patient legal proceedings and potential legal proceedings. We will now look at risk management. Jurisprudence also plays an important role in risk management for nursing professionals. It involves understanding and navigating legal risks associated with patient care, communication, as well as collaboration within the entire healthcare system. 7 is end-of-life care. Jurisprudence is relevant in helping a nurse deliver end-of-life care to the patient. This is especially as concern such issues as advance directives, withholding or withdrawing treatment, and respecting patients' wishes within a given legal framework. 8 is legal responsibilities in interdisciplinary teams. Usually, the nurse will have to collaborate in the healthcare system, and this involves working with legal boundaries and respecting the roles and responsibilities of other professionals who are within the healthcare system. jurisprudence guides a nurse in maintaining effective and legally compliant interdisciplinary teamwork. We will now look at continuing education and legal compliance. Stay informed about changes in the healthcare laws and regulations is essential for a nursing professional. Jurisprudence encourages ongoing education to ensure that nurses remain abreast of their requirements within legal standards in the nursing profession, and this will in turn ensure your compliance. And where you so comply, you will not be liable for that which you ought to have done and which you did not do, and that which you ought to have refrained from doing and which you did as a result of maybe misinformation or lack of knowledge. In sum, jurisprudence in nursing involves a comprehensive understanding of the legal foundations that govern nursing as a profession. It guides nurses in navigating the complex intersection of law, of ethics, and patient care, and promoting a legally sound and ethically responsible nurse. We'll then look at what nursing entails. Who is a nurse? A nurse is a healthcare professional who is trained and qualified to provide care and support to individuals, to families, and communities to promote health and well-being, prevent illness, and assist in the management of various health conditions. Nurses play a pivotal role in healthcare system and are often at the forefront of healthcare. Their responsibilities encompass a wide range of activities, from direct patient care to education to advocacy to collaboration within the healthcare team. The International Council for Nurses defines a nurse as a person who has completed a program of basic generalized nursing education and is authorized by the appropriate regulatory authority to practice nursing in his or her country. Here are the key aspects of who a nurse is. The first key aspect of who a nurse is the education and training that makes a nurse. Nurses typically undergo formal education and training in nursing. This education can range from diploma programs and associate degree programs to bachelor's and master's degrees and even doctoral degrees in programs in nursing. The level of education determines the scope of practice and the potential specialization areas that a nurse can indulge in. Second is the roles and responsibilities that are associated with nursing. According to the International Council for Nursing Code of Ethics for Nurses, nurses have 4 fundamental responsibilities: to promote health, to prevent illness, to restore health, and to alleviate suffering. Let me take that again. It is to wit, to promote health, to prevent illness, to restore health, and to alleviate suffering. Now, these diverse roles and responsibilities include direct patient care, assessment, developing care plans, patient education, advocating for patient rights, coordinating the healthcare delivery, and so on. In sum, a nurse is a dedicated healthcare professional who combines clinical expertise, compassion, interpersonal skills to deliver holistic care to individuals across the lifespan. The role of a nurse is multifaceted, encompassing various responsibilities aimed at promoting health, preventing illness, and supporting patients in their healthcare journey. With that, we come to the end of our introduction to nursing ethics and jurisprudence, and I'll just simply take a recap of what we have gone through. We did an introduction to the course on nursing ethics and jurisprudence. We went ahead to examine what ethics are, and by so doing, we looked at the types of ethics and we looked at the implication of ethics on nursing as a profession. We went ahead to look at what jurisprudence is and particularly examined the jurisprudence as a concept. We also looked at the types of jurisprudence and examined the implication of jurisprudence on nursing as a profession. Finally, we looked at nursing, who a nurse is, and looked particularly at the education and the training that makes a nurse, as well as the responsibilities that a nurse has. Thank you very much for staying on this episode with us. What really do you think of a nurse? When you think about a nurse, what do you think a nurse should be doing for you? And now that you are a nursing student, if you are, what really is your vision about coming into the profession? You need to know that a nurse is the closest person to the patient in a hospital system. What's your vision about nursing as a nursing student? What's your vision about nursing as a nursing professional? Let me hear from you from the comment section. Once again, I crave your indulgence to subscribe to our channel, to be a member of our community, share our videos to your sphere of influence, give us a thumb up, a like if you enjoyed our video. Till next time, I am Mwese Modukbe Nyem. Thank you.